Good afternoon again. I'm Corey Allen Ford, and we're courtside at the Colorado State Event Center here at the fairgrounds in Pueblo. It's the 2A State Basketball Championships, and it's semifinal, or actually quarterfinal, number 3 for the boys. Resurrection Christian, the number 2 seed at 21-2, will take on number 7 seed Sargent with a record of 15-7. Resurrection Christian has never been here before. First time ever at the state tournament. They're 21-2 this year, and the Cougars' only 2 losses are the team that everybody has picked to win this tournament. 23-0 Denver Christian, which will play tonight against Sanford, also from the San Luis Valley. That'll be the 8:30, and that'll be the final quarterfinal here on day 1. So Resurrection Christian brings a very impressive resume in, and they have one of the legendary coaches in this tournament this year. Dick Hottie, of course, the man of 48 years, leads Denver Christian. Bruce Dick is in his second year with Resurrection Christian after 24 years at Green Mountain and then 5 more years at Rocky Mountain in Fort Collins. He's now in his second year with the Cougars. That was Resurrection Christian with an impressive record as the number 2 seed here in the tournament. 21-2. Sargent, no stranger to the tournament. 3rd trip in 4 years. Brandon Sanchez is in his 4th year, so he's been here all 3 times that they've been here in the last 4 trips. They did not make it last year. The only negative thing for Sargent is they haven't won in the state tournament. They've lost 8 straight games in the state tournament, so they need to get over that hump, and it's not going to be easy by any means today. We'll see if their scrappiness prevails against a very good all-around Resurrection Christian Ball Club. Brandon is in his 4th year at Sargent. Before that, he was with the Creed girls. They come in with a record of 15-7 on the season. Introduction of the starting lineups is happening right before us, and we'll get you those here in just a second. Want to tell you that we appreciate all the fine sponsors on CHSAA Television, including the Colorado Potato Grower Association, San Luis Valley Rural Electrical Cooperative, Colorado Preps Network, Adams State College, and the Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance Agency of the state of Colorado are all possible and making it possible for our broadcast and video stream of the CHSAA State Tournament Championships here in Class 2A. Starting lineups have been introduced for Resurrection Christian. Josh Mont is one of their starters. He's 5'11 and a senior. Brian Wallman is number 23. He's 6'5 and a senior. He averages 14 points and 9 rebounds a contest. Wyatt Simon, 5'10 and a junior. He's another starter. He'll be one of the guards. Brock Buxman is 6 foot and a sophomore. Colin Magnuson is 5'9 and a senior. Magnuson, Buxman, Simon, Wallman, and Mont for Coach Bruce Dick and the Cougars of Resurrection Christian. For Sargent, 6 foot senior, number 14 is Brandon Rogers, averaging 10. Deion Oakes is 5'11 and a senior. He averages 10 points and 8 rebounds. Also on that starting lineup is number 3. He's the point man, and he's their guard at 5'9 sophomore is Nate Ramirez. He's the man who distributes the basketball. Also in that starting 5 is number 21, Chet Korzine, 6'1 and a senior. And also out there is number 24, 6'2 and a senior, Ryan Mix. We're set to go. Black uniforms, yellow or gold trim, that is, for Sargent. White home uniforms with the blue numbers and trim for Resurrection Christian. As the basketball game underway, and from left to right, that is, here comes Resurrection Christian. They'll work the ball to the top. Up top and with the basketball and knocking it away was Buxman. He wasn't able to catch the pass, and now he gets it into the right corner. Just underway, 20 seconds in, and neither team has scored. Down the lane, slicing and dicing, but moving his feet down the lane was Wyatt Simon. First turnover of the game goes to Resurrection Christian, and Sargent will get the basketball. Our officials this afternoon, John Magnusman, Mike Gage, and Craig Coltley for the Colorado High School Activities Association. Basketball belongs in the hands of Sargent right now, and that's Rogers with the bounce pass. High post left side from Mix. Left free throw line extended, down low, open, and the layup is good for Deion Oakes. Oakes turned and twisted to the basket on the nice bounce pass from Nate Ramirez, who gets the assist. First basket of the game to the Farmers, and they're up 2-0. We played about a minute here in the first quarter, that is, and the ball slicing down the lane was Wyatt Simon. The ball stripped away, taken away by Sargent. They get the steal, and the turnover goes to Resurrection, and they're 2 for 2 in that category. 2 turnovers in 2 possessions. 2-0 Sargent with the basketball right side. At the top is Deion Oakes. Oakes to the right wing extended. That's Ramirez. He fakes the 3. He's in traffic, or he's getting tied up over there by Josh Mont. Good defense on a player-to-player, man-to-man defense for the Cougars. Stopping his dribble up top here is Oakes between the circle. Lobbing it down low on the baseline. Double team, cross lane pass right side. Double teamed again. This time is Mix. He will get rid of it to Corzine. Outside left, 3 on the way. Good! Brandon Rogers hits nothing but the bottom of the net. It's 5-0, Sargent on top. They are the 7 seed, surprising the 2 seed here early on. 1:40 into the first quarter. 5-0, 2 turnovers on 2 possessions for Resurrection Christian. Here's Mont on the drive, lost the ball strip, taken away by Sargent. Another turnover, 3 for 3, 2 steals in the last 2 efforts for Resurrection Christian by Sargent. Now they throw it away to the Farmers. Ramirez had the fast break, trying to work to the right side, and he threw it away. Nobody was there on the cut to the basket down the right baseline. And the first substitution of the game is Scott Dillon, 5'8 junior, wearing the number 1. He's got the multicolored hair going on, gold hair and black, kind of representing his team. Talk about a true team player. Bad pass on the inside. That was Simon intending it for his target, Buxman, and another turnover. 4 turnovers, 4 possessions for Resurrection Christian. Not a way to start. We got a traveling violation at the other end as Ramirez is trying to get free from the pressure from Josh Mont out near the timeline, and he turns it over, and now Sargent has turned it over. So Resurrection Christian showing their colors. Never been here in the state tournament. 4 possessions and 4 turnovers. Here's a 3 deep left corner. It's short. High for the rebound was Wallman. He batted it back out top. Here's Mont penetrating. Runner runs over a man. Gets the ball to fall and the bucket. Josh Mont with his first 2. He averages 13. And finally on the board, Resurrection Christian almost 2 minutes in. Almost 3 minutes in, that is, to the first quarter. And the pass on the right wing in front of the Cougars bench. The catch is made by the newcomer, Scott Dillon, but he's standing on the line. So they've turned it over 3 times. 7 turnovers early on here for both teams that are nervous, to say the least, in the state tournament in 2A. The winner gets Lyman tomorrow night at 5:30 in a semifinal. Lyman won earlier, 58-48 over Wiggins. Fake left down the right side of the lane, kick it off to Mont. Mont penetrates, left-hand dribble, crosses up with his right-hand jump shot. It's short, and the rebound taken out of there by Nate Ramirez. Ramirez will bring it up against Mont, who will give him full court pressure, get a piece of the ball, and knock it out of bounds. The pass intended here on the near side for Scott Dillon. It'll remain Sargent basketball. Sargent will get a new face out there, number 30, Cole Van Treese, 6'2 junior. And on the inbounds, Van Treese. He'll lob it deep right side. It's picked off. Turnover on Sargent. Wallman with a pickoff. Right side with the pass is Lohr. Way up top, left side. Now swing it into the corner. Mont threw it away, but a foul called on the entry-level pass, intending it for Wallman. Sargent fans in abundance on the far side in the bright gold and black colors of the school. Did not like the call. First of the game, and it's called on 30, Cole Van Treese. First on the team. Here's the penetration. Wallman on the right baseline goes up, and he's hammered on the arm. So twice they've penetrated and tried to work it inside of their big guys. That foul is on Scott Dillon. Check that Van Treese again. That's his second. And they say he was shooting. Change that on the board as the free throw is no good by Wallman. As it rattles in and out, he's only a 55% free throw shooter, and he'll get one more. 5-2 is the lead for Sargent. The number 7 seed leads the number 2 seed here with 4:30 to go in the first quarter, and the free throw is up and a swish for Wallman. Another substitution. And returning to the lineup is Chet Corzine. 22, Colton Cooley also into the lineup for Sargent. It's a 5-3 ball game. Mont has hit a field goal. Wallman has 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Took him almost 3 minutes to get their first points in a state tournament game for Resurrection Christian. But they are on the board and now trail by 2 after trailing 5-0. Up top with the basketball is Oakes. Oakes looking. All over him is Wallman. Wallman bumps him. And pass left side here to Cooley. Up top to Dillon. Dillon swings around left side. Elbow jumper left side all over the iron. No. Rebound tapped and out of bounds. It will go white, says Mike Gage underneath, the trail official. And the ball goes to Resurrection Christian. 5-3, the lead for Sargent. Their biggest lead has been 5-0. Up top of the basketball, swinging around right side is Jake Lohr. He'll hand it off to Mott. Shake and bake move around two defenders. Jump stop. Banks it off the glass. No. Rebound. Wallman on the weak side. Bangs it up there. No. Wallman again in traffic. Yeah, no. He got fouled, though. Hammered down to the ground. He's picked up by his teammates. 23 is the call. As into the ball game for Sargent will be wait for that second shot since we are shooting two. Good job by the youngster on the far side. He knew better than the official. He knew he couldn't come in on that first free throw. He has to wait. 21 was the foul call. I thought he said 3. Chet Corzine will pick it up. His first, team second. Wallman threw up, and not a pretty looking free throw at any means. As Austin Dillon, a 6-foot junior, checks in for Sargent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's already played 9 players as the Sargent coach, Brandon Sanchez. In and out they come as the second free throw by Wallman is good. He's got 2 in the game, 2 of 4 from the line. It's a tie game at 5. Should be 5-4. Jumper baseline pulled up, no, short. Rebound Wallman. Wallman's got 3 of those already, and it is changed up there. It's a 5-4 ball game. Wallman's got 4 points and 3 boards. Right side with the basketball is Lohr. Lohr, the guard, gets it off to Mott. Mott stops right side, no good. Wallman another rebound, puts it up and in. Boy, Brian Wallman is a man among boys right now on the rebounding side of things, and Sargent coach Brandon Sanchez sees that as well and takes time out. 4 rebounds, 6 points, or 4 points that is, for Brian Wallman. And a timeout on the floor, and it's 6-5. Resurrection Christian has their first ever lead at the state tournament since it's their first ever appearance. Colorado potatoes. Did you know that Colorado potatoes have only 110 calories? Did you know that Colorado potatoes have more potassium than a banana? And did you know that Colorado growers over 70 varieties of potatoes? Find out more about Colorado potatoes and register for a $100 Visa gift card at coloradopotato.org. Colorado Preps Network, in-depth coverage of every state tournament game, every class. It can be found online at coloradopreps.com. You get the quickest results and updated brackets at coloradopreps.com, and they invite you to join us for the full recap of the state tournament each night from 9 to 10 on the Scoreboard Show with our own man, Kevin Schaefer. Colorado Preps Radio Network. That's the Colorado Preps Network. 6-5, Resurrection Christian now leads the ball game by 1 after Sargent started off the contest up 5-0. Down low, great backdoor cut, swinging on the other side of the lane. The pass and the shot in the lane is good. Dillon with the catch. He waited for his defender to go up and puts it through. He's got 2 off the bench, and it's 7-6, Sargent by 1. Lohr up top, now to Josh Mott. Fakes left, goes right, but he traveled. That call is usually always going to happen when you fake left, go right, unless your feet are permanently on the ground. And the official calls the traveling. So Resurrection, after their first 4 possession, having 4 turnovers, picks up their 5th. But it's been quite some time since they've gotten that 5th turnover. 5 turnovers to 3 in that department. The score is 7-6. Sargent on top by 1. Bad pass, picked off. Sargent turnover number 4, and here comes Wallman back the other way. He'll dribble and hand it off to Simon. Simon takes it strong to the goal, but an offensive foul is called. Simon strong to the goal on the right side. Good defense by number 3, Nate Ramirez. As Simon, he's seen coming right at him and stepped right there in front of him. He was set, and Simon went right over the top of him, and the foul was called. First foul of the game on Resurrection Christian. And Sargent gets the basketball with a 7-6 lead. 2:13 to go in the first quarter. Quarterfinal number 3. Number 4 it'll be tonight. Denver Christian, number 1 seed against Sargent, the number 8 seed. Or Sanford, that is, the number 8 seed. Is that ball on the baseline, and now an offensive foul called on Sargent. Wallman was set up. He was bumped into by 15, Deion Oakes. That'll be Oakes' first personal foul. 4 on Sargent as a team. Offensive foul was called, so the ball will go to Resurrection Christian as somebody at the scoring table is having some issues trying to get something in the book, it looks like. And it looks like we have that straightened out after we have another sub that enters the game. That'll be Brandon Rogers re-enters the game. So 9 players in and out for Brandon Sanchez. kind of got the assembly line going. 7-6 is across the line is Wyatt Simon. Right down the paint he goes to the baseline. Hands off to Wallman. Wallman with a little floater from 8 feet is good. Wallman's been the offense for the Cougars. He's got 6 and 4 boards. And it's 8-7. On the seesaw we go. Resurrection by 1. Pass intended into the corner for Oaks and tapped out of bounds by the hustling Josh Mont. The ball will stay with Sargent. 8-7. Inbounds coming up just to the left of us here at center court. Corzine gets it over the up top to Ramirez. Now we'll work it left side again. Back to the right side. Into the corner for Ramirez. Ramirez guarded by Mont. Passed down to the baseline. Tipped out of there and knocked away. Josh Mont will bring it up court, but he's bumped and fouled as he got across midcourt by Ramirez on the run. That'll be Ramirez's first, team 5th. Resurrection Christian will have the ball here at midcourt. First substitution of the game. 14, that is Colin Magnuson. He's had 53 pointers this season. He's one of the tops in the state in Class 2A. He's a deadeye from the outside. He checks in as the first sub for the Cougars. Here's the penetration from Lohr. Get it over to Magnuson. He's open, 3 on the way, air ball. And the one thing you have to learn when you play at this arena or any of the arenas, basically, the depth perception of your shot. There is nothing behind you at all except the black tarp and the black screen, and then on the other end is just the fans, and they are far away. The court is far away from the seats, not close at all, and that depth perception will definitely take effect. And it did on that first shot. 8-7 our score, and Sargent with the shot. Left three-pointer no good. Rebound underneath, put back up and in. Deion Oaks gets the stick back after a nice rebound after the miss of the 3 by Brandon Rogers. 9-8, 1 point lead Sargent. Here's Mont down the lane, scoop, layup is good. Mont averaging 13, he's got 4 in the quarter. Only 2 offensive players thus far for Resurrection Christian, Wallman and Mont. 10-9. Wallman has 6, Mont has 4. Ball tapped into the backcourt, able to retrieve it after it was touched was Ramirez. Sargent with the basketball at the right hash mark. Ball tapped away, stolen away by Lohr, down underneath. Actually, Lohr takes it himself and puts it in. And a foul on midcourt, just across midcourt as Sargent brought the ball up. I believe it's on Wallman. That'll be his first, team second. Second on the team. Sargent has 5. 9 seconds to go, and the Farmers trailed now 12-9. It's the biggest lead of the game thus far for Resurrection Christian. Sargent's biggest lead was 5. Ball at midcourt picked up by Mont. Then taken back by Ramirez. Loose ball on the floor, tied up. Held ball, arrow possession Sargent. Good hustle by Josh Mont. Mont flying down the court, trying to tip it away, not able to do so. And Sargent will maintain possession. They'll have length of the floor to go with 4.6 to go. Here comes the inbound to Rogers. Works on the far side of the court, shaking his bacon his way across the line, throws it up, and oh, it's short. It was on target, but it just fell underneath the rim. 1 quarter in the book in the state tournament. Quarterfinal, number 3 on the boys' side of things. Resurrection Christian in their first ever state appearance. Trailed by as many as 5. They lead 12-9 as we go into the second 8 minutes of play. 12-9 Cougars lead Sargent at the 2A state championships in Pueblo on CHSAA.tv.
He wasn't looking for a roommate, not even a 4-legged one. But good things have a way of turning up. Wasn't long till they realized how much they relied on each other. There's power in a great relationship. That's why we take time to get to know each of our customers personally. Like Henry and Chance. Those relationships are the strength of our community bank. And that's the way banking should be.
For who?
For Resurrection Christian.
12-9.
2-4, 6-8, 10. I'm missing a bucket. Who did I miss? Oh, Lohr. I just missed it, yeah.
We're back.
Back courtside. Actually, right at the middle of the court here at the Colorado State Fair Event Center. I'm Corey Allen Ford, Dane Johnson alongside Tim Anderson helping out as well, of course, running the dials and all the production, making it possible for our broadcast on CHSAA.tv. 12-9 our score after one. Resurrection Christian, their first ever state tournament. They have the 3-point lead after trailing 5-0. Here's a steal at midcourt. Pass right side, going strong to the goal, puts up the wild layup, missed it as he hit the back of the backboard, and it took a crazy bounce. That caroms all the way back out to Wallman, who has his 4th rebound, 6 points, actually 5th rebound, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Here's Mott, takes a 3 from the deep left side, no good. And the rebound hauled out of there by Oakes. He's got 3 boards himself. Long lead down court for Sargent. That's Colton Cooley. He'll get it back out to Ramirez. He'll slow up things and set up shop. 12-9, Resurrection Christian, the number 2 seed with a 3-point lead. And a 3 by Cooley off the back of the iron. Comes down on the iron again, no. Going hard to the ground was Wallman, no foul. Loose ball taken away as Sargent turns it over for the 5th time. And now a strip and turnover at midcourt by Resurrection Christian, and they got it back. Loose again, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Cougars ball. 6 turnovers on Resurrection Christian. They had 5 in the first quarter. 4 by Sargent in the first quarter. Each one has a turnover here early in the second. Scott Dillon, number 1, back into the Sargent lineup as the assembly line continues to roll them in and out for Coach Brandon Sanchez. 12-9, 3-point lead for the Cougars. Right side is Lohr. Bounce it down low. Wallman takes 2 dribbles, puts it off the glass and in on the right baseline. Wallman has 8 of the 14, along with 5 rebounds. 14-9. He's their man. He averages 14 points and 9 rebounds a game. Coach Bruce Dick right behind the man with the basketball, and that was Ramirez. They work at left side. Dillon is over there. He's guarded tightly by Resurrection Christian. Up top is Lohr. On the bounce pass, a crossover, and Mott strips it as it goes to the baseline, takes it out of bounds. The ball was in the hands of Colton Cooley. Cooley had the ball. And the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Sargent basketball is coming into the contest is Dion Oakes. Oakes will replace Nate Ramirez for Sargent. Farmers with the basketball underneath their hoop, left side. Flip it way out top. The catch by Corzine. Deep into the right corner for Dillon. Dillon guarded there. Goes around 2 men, but then rejected blocked shot for the newcomer to the floor, Taylor DeWalt, 24. Dillon got into a sandwich and couldn't get out of the pickle. At the other end, ball thrown away by Resurrection Christian. Another turnover. Baseball pass down court. Ahead of the pack, laying it up. No, he missed it too hard off the glass. He was wide open. He just threw it too hard off the glass. That was Cooley. Back at the other way. Mott, 1 step, banks it up and in. So the baseball pass on one end doesn't work, and on the other end it does. Mott has 6. And it's 16-9, Resurrection Christian. Right side pass, Corzine. Stops his dribble between the circles, swinging around the perimeter, left side to the baseline. Pulling up is Rogers. Rogers, bad pass in the paint. 6th turnover on Sargent, 2nd in the quarter. Pull up at the other end is good. Jumper taken by Jake Lohr, and he hits the J, and a timeout, Sargent. Full timeout at that. Brandon Sanchez does not like the way it's going. Early on at the 1A state tournament in Loveland, Walsh leads Stratton 11-1. Walsh, the number 2 seed. Sierra Grande already won earlier today in 1A. Everybody wanting that Walsh-Kalichi matchup tomorrow in the semifinals. And then possibility of Walsh and Sierra Grande, the 1 and 2 teams, matching up maybe in the championship come Saturday night. Coverage of all the games involving teams from the San Luis Valley is presented in part by the San Luis Valley Rural Electrical Cooperative. Serving you for 75 years, they are your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. It's a powerful connection. Good luck to all the teams from the San Luis Valley Rural Electrical Cooperative. Adams State College high school students, you can start your college education and earn high school credits through Adams State Early College and concurrent enrollment programs. Online courses are offered throughout Colorado. For more information, visit www.adams.edu. www.adams.edu, Adams State College. Sierra and Broomfield are tied at 10-10. That game is in the 4A quarterfinals or semifinals going on at the Coors Event Center in Boulder. Earlier today, Lewis Palmer beat Valor Christian. Here's a jumper by a new face into the lineup. That's Clay Mullins. He's the 10th player to play for Sargent. Missed the shot. You almost had one there, Dane. Ball at midcourt here almost went right into the wickets of Mr. Johnson. And penetrating down the lane is Josh Mott. He's called for the offensive foul. Mott was out of control on the left baseline, tried to take it inside and weaved his way in, but Sargent has picked up a couple of offensive charges already on Resurrection Christian. Mott picks up the foul. That's his first, third on the team. And back into the game is Colin Magnuson, number 14. Ball in the backcourt picked up and stolen away by Resurrection Christian. The steal by Lohr. And the pass and bucket underneath for Magnuson. Colin Magnuson makes his first bucket, and it's 20-9, and now Resurrection Christian starting to pull away. The first ever game jitters at state, and they're starting to rub off, and they're starting to polish themselves right now. Shot is short from the left baseline by Scott Dillon. Back the other way come Resurrection Christian now with an 11-point lead, largest of the game. Fake left on the right move was Simon, way up top. Penetrating his boxman. He tries to whip it down low, but a foul and a blocking foul called by trail official here, Mike Gage. 25, Clay Mullins will pick that up. His first 16 foul, one more, and Resurrection Christian will be shooting free throws. 3 subs ready to come in for the black and gold, and they say it was a shooting foul. So at the free throw line for the first time this afternoon, or late afternoon that is Brock Buxman. 77% free throw shooter on the season. Averages 10 points and 2 rebounds a game, and he hits the first. Did not score in the first quarter. And more players coming in. Ryan Mix returns to the lineup for Sargent. Also coming back in is Austin Dillon. He's been in before, and Nate Ramirez returns as well. That's a team that you want to play for if you know you're not a superstar. I was in that category. He goes 10 deep on the bench as the free throw is up and good. Tough pickings on the south side of Chicago. I'm just lucky to see time in the final seconds of the fourth quarter. Up top right side with the basketball is Sargent. They're down 22-9 after leading 5-0 to start the game, and a three-pointer is good from Austin Dillon. First points of the second quarter. 23-19, Valley leads Manitou, or 23-10 in the 3A quarterfinals up at Fort Collins. 22-12 here. It's a 10-point lead. 13 has been the biggest of the game. On the penetration, left side down low, trying to reverse layup and going up, and the foul called as Mullins thought he was holding his ground. His body was leaned back, and Mullins is going to get the call. That's his second, 7th team foul, and going to the free throw line after missing the reverse was Taylor DeWald, who averages 4 points and 4 rebounds, 42% free throw shooter on the season. All over the iron, off the glass, back off the iron and down. Chet Corzine back into the contest for Sargent. Luke Mont, Josh's brother, is in for Resurrection Christian. And he's also joined by his brother, Josh, the senior, Luke, the freshman. Both out there right now for the white and blue Resurrection Christian Cougars, who were down 5-0 and have charged up after those early jitters and have taken command of this game. They're up 12, 24-12 as DeWald hits both free throws. 24-12, 3:19 to go, and Sargent in a world of hurt right now, needing to get some buckets to go. And that ball is partially blocked. DeWald gets another block, his second of the game since coming off the bench. Josh Mott will bring it up. The Sargent fans don't like it at all. Here's Mott spinning in the lane, kicks it off left side. A 3 open for Buxman. It spins in and out, no good. And the rebound pulled off by Corzine. Under 3 to go before halftime here in game number 3 of the quarterfinals for the boys. Coming up, the girls, ECA and Rye, the final quarterfinal of the night, as the ball is too far intended for Corzine, who was cutting down the right side of the lane from high post to low. And it's another turnover on Sargent. They now have 8. Back into the game comes Brandon Rogers. So Coach Sanchez gives them about 2 or 3 minutes, then takes them out, puts in somebody fresh. It worked early on, but unfortunately not working right now. Sargent has not been able to find an offensive shooter or get any of their offensive game going. They're down 12. Their biggest deficit has been 13. As strong to the bucket and missing the layup was Buxman on the right side. Pulling it off is Corzine, and here they come back the other way. 2:30 to go. Second quarter. All Resurrection Christian right now. They're up 12. They swing it around the perimeter, and with the basketball, Nate Ramirez, free throw line extended right. Now to the top of the key, and that's Ryan Mix to Dillon. Dillon with one dribble, left side, dribbling to the high post. Left side was Corzine, or Corzine, that is. The handoff to Ramirez. Sargent just cannot get it inside against Wallman and company. Long three, and an air ball, out of bounds it goes. As we said earlier, it's tough to shoot at these type of atmospheres with no back behind you. Not like at schools where you have the wall right behind you, the PE wall, the climbing rope. 1:48 to go in the second. 24-12. Mon up top, fakes right, goes left down the lane, throws it up with the right hand and down. Josh Mott has 8. 26-12. The lead for Resurrection Christian. It's their biggest of the game after trailing 5-0. They have been on a 26-7 run. Right side with a pass is Dillon. And now Rogers has it. Rogers guarded out there by Jake Lohr. Down inside, triple teamed on the inside. Trying to get rid of the ball is Corzine. And a foul called on the triple team. Someone came down on an arm. That'll be Josh Mont, his second, 4th on the team. Magnuson and Mont will go to the bench for Resurrection. Wallman's back in there. Luke Mont is back in there. And on the inbounds. High post pass, bounce it down low, kicked out of bounds. And that was by the freshman Luke Mont, who replaced his brother. It remains Sargent basketball. 1:08 to go in the second. Brandon Rogers on the inbounds. Here's the penetration by Ramirez. He kicks it out, and an offensive foul is called. Offensive foul on Nate Ramirez, his second personal. It's the 8th team foul, but on the offensive foul, of course, you do not shoot free throws. It's a change of possession as the ball goes to Resurrection Christian. Simon will bring it across. Right side, there's the younger Mont. With it, now to Brock Buxton, or Buxman that is. Buxman kicks it off left side for Wyatt Simon, back to Buxman. Fakes right, goes left, kicks it into the corner. Left side is Jake Lohr, up top right side. On the penetration is Simon, kicking off for Lohr. Ball loose in the middle, taken away. Turnover number 8 on Resurrection Christian. Back the other way with the basketball is Sargent, and a foul on another triple team down low. Brock Buxman has been not happy with the call. He is called for the grab of the arm. He grabbed Deion Oakes, who tried to get open down low. So Buxman will pick up the foul. That'll be his first and the team 5th. Baseline left. Dillon around 2, goes up, missed the shot as it was altered by Brian Wallman, who did not get a piece of it, but just him swatting at it and his 6'5" height forced Dillon to shoot it a little higher than he wanted to. 12 seconds to go in the quarter. 10. Resurrection Christian with the basketball. Up top with the basketball is Wyatt Simon. Simon penetrates, kicks it off to Buxman. Buxman down the lane, outside. Luke Mont for 3 at the buzzer is an air ball, third that we've seen in the first half. And that will end our first half. After a 5-0 start for Sargent as the number 7 seed, they were outscored 26-7 the rest of the first half. 26-12 is the score. Resurrection Christian in their first ever state tournament. They're the number 2 seed. They've lost twice this year, and that was to number 1 seed Denver Christian, who plays later. Right now the Cougars have the lead and are in control at the half, 26-12. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll recap the scoring here in the first half. 26-12, Resurrection Christian over Sargent at the 2A state championships in Pueblo, and this is CHSAA TV.
He wasn't looking for a roommate, not even a 4-legged one. But good things have a way of turning up. Wasn't long till they realized how much they relied on each other. There's power in a great relationship. That's why we take time to get to know each of our customers personally. Like Henry and Chance. Those relationships are the strength of our community bank. And that's the way banking should be.
Be an actor, writer, or scientist. With small class sizes and caring faculty, your great story begins here. Adams State College offers state-of-the-art classrooms and an adventure program that rocks your world. Our affordable tuition and close campus community enriches the lives of a diversity of students.
Helping you, inspiring you to be your very best. Adams State College. Great stories begin here.
Thanks for meeting me here.
No problem. You know, Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
That's great. And since our headquarters are local, we'll be here for old Becky for a long time.
Harold, your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
I'm ready to switch over to Farm Bureau Auto Insurance.
Great.
Wait, my old insurance agent is offering me a safe driver discount if I stay.
We got you down for that.
And a multi-line discount.
That too. You know, some insurance companies don't give you your discounts until you try to switch, whereas we give you all the discounts you qualify for automatically.
Awesome. Done.
Hey, hi.
Your old agent?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
Courtside at the Colorado State Fair Event Center. I'm Corey Ellen Ford, 2A State Championship Basketball, the boys quarterfinal, number 3. And it looked like we might have an upset early on. But since then, it's Resurrection Christian resurrecting itself. They were down 5-0, and boom, 26 points later, they're up 26-12. They outscored the Sargent Farmers 26-7. Since Sargent had that lead of 5-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and it's been all Resurrection Christian since then. Josh Mont, 8 points. Brian Wallman, 8 points and 6 rebounds. He had 6 of those points in the first quarter. Brock Buxman has 2. Colin Magnuson has 2. Jake Lohr has 4. And Taylor DeWald has a couple of blocks and 2 points from the free throw line. They had 12 in the first quarter, and they led 12-9 after 1. They scored 14 in the second quarter. They've hit 6 of 8 free throws, and their biggest lead is right now of 14 here in the first half for Resurrection Christian. They come in as the number 2 seed and with a record of 21-2. The winner of this game will play Lyman, who beat Wiggins earlier this afternoon by 10 here at the Event Center, and they will play tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 in a boys semifinal. Sargent in the first half, Brandon Rogers, who hit that 3 that gave his team a 5-0 lead, and everything looked nice and rosy for the Farmers at the time. He has 3, and that's it. He's averaging 10, and he hit that 3, and he had it in the first quarter. Did not score in the second quarter. In fact, they only scored 3 points in the second quarter and were outscored 14-3 by the Cougars. Deion Oakes, who had a good start, he had 4 in the first quarter, nothing in the second quarter, and the only other player to score was Austin Dillon, who hit the only points for Sargent in the second quarter. That was a 3-point bucket from the left side in front of his bench. They have rotated 10 players into the game, have the Farmers, but unfortunately have not found the right chemistry to do anything against the Resurrection Christian offense. They have not shot a free throw, have the Farmers, here in the first half. They have hit 2 3-pointers, but have not shot a free throw. They've lost 8 straight games at the state tournament. They're down 14 at halftime to Resurrection Christian, who's in their first ever state appearance. They average 63 points a ball game, and they're halfway or close to halfway to that right now, leading 26-12 here at the intermission. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get you some scores from the other games going on in the state tournament championships, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. You ask it, we'll try to provide right here, CHSAA.tv.
He wasn't looking for a roommate, not even a 4-legged one. But good things have a way of turning up. Wasn't long till they realized how much they relied on each other. There's power in a great relationship. That's why we take time to get to know each of our customers personally. Like Henry and Chance. Those relationships are the strength of our community bank. And that's the way banking should be.
Be an actor, writer, or scientist. With small class sizes and caring faculty, your great story begins here. Adams State College offers state-of-the-art classrooms and an adventure program that rocks your world. Our affordable tuition and close campus community enriches the lives of a diversity of students.
Helping you, inspiring you to be your very best. Adams State College. Great stories begin here.
Thanks for meeting me here.
No problem. You know, Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
That's great. And since our headquarters are local, we'll be here for old Becky for a long time.
Harold, your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
I'm ready to switch over to Farm Bureau Auto Insurance.
Great.
Wait, my old insurance agent is offering me a safe driver discount if I stay.
We got you down for that.
And a multi-line discount.
That too. You know, some insurance companies don't give you your discounts until you try to switch, whereas we give you all the discounts you qualify for automatically.
Awesome. Done.
Hey, hi.
Your old agent?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
Ryan ECA are taking their warm-ups, getting ready for their quarterfinal, the final one of the night for the girls. Right now at halftime of the boys' 2A state quarterfinal game here at the Colorado State Fair Event Center. It's 26-12, Resurrection Christian by 14. Earlier today, Lutheran 62-49 over Custer County. They're the 5 seed is Lutheran. They played a tremendously tough schedule. They have a couple of losses to Denver Christian. In fact, 3 of them to Denver Christian, the undefeated number 1 seed who plays Sanford tonight at 8:30. Lutheran the win. They'll play tomorrow night in what everybody thinks will be the 4th matchup between Denver Christian and them. But Sanford has something to say about that. We'll see about that here in about 2 hours. Lyman was a winner earlier this afternoon over Wiggins, 57-48 after Wiggins knocked them out of the regional tournament last year. Lyman plays tomorrow at 5:30, the winner of the game going on between Resurrection Christian and Sargent. Wiggins plays tomorrow morning at 10:15, and Custer County plays in the consolation bracket at 1:15 tomorrow. 3A tournament. Faith Christian was a winner over Manual this afternoon. Holy Family destroyed Colorado Springs Christian, who hadn't lost a game. They beat him by 20 points as the number 7 seed. So Holy Family moves on into the semifinals, as does Faith Christian. In 3A, the boys' game later on is going to be actually going on right now is Valley and Manitou Springs. That going on in Fort Collins. And we'll get you a score update here momentarily on that one. In the boys' side in 1A, Sierra Grande, the top seed, goes to 23-0. They beat Norwood by 11, 75-64. High Plains knocked off Springfield. A 5 seed beat a 4 seed, 63-60. Sierra Grande and High Plains will play. Walsh and Stratton are playing right now, and that's a tight ball game going on in Loveland. That's a good matchup, 2 against 7. As we've talked about here on Press Row, Stratton will always bring a scrappy group to the party, and they always do, even though the record might not indicate it. They're always a scrappy bunch. Lewis Palmer beat Valor Christian in the 4A semifinals. Sierra and Broomfield are playing right now, and the last check, it was Sierra leading Broomfield 29-20. Later on, the 5A boys will have their semifinals, Arapahoe and Rangeview, and Highland Ranch and Chaparral. It's 32-11 in favor of Valley. They have the lead over the Mustangs in the 3A game. That is Valley and Manitou Springs 32-11. Wow. Manitou with a 21-3 record coming in. They are the 5 seed, and Valley just blowing them out of Moby Arena 32-11. And that is in the 3rd quarter of play. Here, it's 26-12, and we're about ready to start the second half. Girls game coming up next. The girls winners today here were Paonia, the number 1 seed, by 10 over Del Norte. Lutheran was a winner over Vanguard by 10. Akron was a winner by 19 over Sargent. And Akron plays in the semifinals tomorrow along with Paonia and Lutheran. Those are at 4 o'clock. Remember, every game of every class is on CHSAA.tv. Just go to CHSAA.tv, pick out a game. If you don't like what you're seeing, you'll find another one that's more interesting. It's there. It's enjoyable. If you're a basketball junkie, you got to love it. It's basketball season, March Madness at its best here in the Centennial State. Sargent has the basketball left to right on the television screen right now, and they're in their black uniforms with the gold, and they have it right at the top is Brandon Rogers. Rogers trying to fake, gets it down low on the baseline, put up off the glass short. The shot was taken by Ryan Mix, and it falls short, and back the other way come Resurrection Christian. Mont will hand it off to Buxman. Buxman, left side. And with the basketball is Wyatt Simon. Now to Mont. Mont tries to spin his way around. Ball loose on the floor. It's tapped out. Just diving on the floor, and good hustle there by Nate Ramirez. Will point and do everything guard for the Farmers, and he ties up Mont, but the ball will go back to Resurrection Christian. 30 seconds into the third quarter, 14-point lead for the Cougars in their first ever state appearance. Coach Bruce Dick in his 31st year of coaching basketball in the state. 24 at Green Mountain, 5 at Rocky Mountain in Fort Collins. Here's Woolman, backs his way in, puts it up off the glass and in. Boy, he's a good big man with some nice moves. He's got 10. He's 4 away from his average. 10 points, 6 rebounds. And it's 29-12 or 28-12, and slicing right down the lane is Ramirez, and nobody stopped him there, and he gets his first bucket of the game. And a timeout called by Resurrection Christian. Bruce Dick not happy at all with his troopers as they come into the huddle, and he's not a happy man.
Quick update on Walsh and Stratton, 20-14 with 1:40 left in the third.
20-14, that's Walsh on top.
20-17.
17.
Yep.
Eagles leading the Eagles.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Walsh on top of Stratton, the good one, and that is in the third quarter.
That's what it says.
Wow. Third quarter of that ball game, 20-17, Walsh.
Might be halftime.
And the inbounds coming for Resurrection Christian after the 30-second timeout and the chastising of his players to figure out how to break the press because they didn't look like they knew what they were going to do. So now they figured it out, and they break the press easily as Mont can bring it across. He'll lob it down low. Wallman on the baseline goes up. Ball deflected on the ground. Are we going to call a jump ball? Yes, we are. Rogers got a piece of it as Wallman brought it down low, and you never bring it down low as a big man, as they teach you. Unfortunately, he brought it down right into his chest area, and the hand right there on top of it was Rogers. It forces the jump ball and the arrow possession Sargent's way, so it goes as a turnover for Resurrection Christian, their 9th. And back the other way, Sargent trying to throws it away. Didn't try to throw it away, but unfortunately did, as Rogers trying to hit a cutting Ryan Mix along the left baseline. Each team now with 9 turnovers. Each had 8 at the half. 28-14. A 2-touchdown lead for Resurrection Christian right now. Leading it by 14, their largest of the night. Deep 3, left corner, no good. Weak side rebound, nobody boxed out Mont. Mont puts it up, missed everything. And the ball loose underneath and finally pulled out of there by Dion Oakes, who gets his 4th rebound of the game. Back at the other way is Mix, puts it on the ground, then off the glass and in. Ryan Mix with his first field goal. And it's 28-16, back to a 12-point lead for Resurrection Christian. They've led by as many as 14. That's what their lead was at halftime and just a minute ago as well, so that's their biggest lead thus far. 5-0 start for Sargent, but Resurrection Christian on its way as down the lane, slicing and dicing and banking it off the window after going from left to right was Brock Buxman. And Buxman has 4. 2 field goals, or a field goal and 2 free throws. So now he has the 4 points. It's 30-16, back to a 14-point lead, and back and forth they go. And Sargent can't just trade baskets. They're going to have to get a stop here as the basket is good on the left baseline from Oakes. He averages 10. He's got 6. 6 points, 5 boards for Oakes. Up top with the basketball is Jake Lohr. Lohr left side for Buxman. Now he hands off to Simon. Simon penetrates, and he's traveling. Tried to penetrate down the baseline from the high post. Ran over Ramirez, picked up his feet as he did it to try to avoid the charge, and a travel call. 10th turnover on Resurrection. Remember, they started the game, if you didn't know this earlier, 4 turnovers in a row on 4 possessions. You talk about first ever state appearance jitters. There they were. And they were down 5-0, and there's a jump ball. Mont reached around Ramirez to get the jump ball. The official on the far side called the jump ball. The near side official must not have seen, as we seen right in front of us, a bear hug. Yeah, it should have been a foul, but we all miss him, let me tell you. Ball goes back to Resurrection Christian on the change of possession and the turnover for Sargent, their 10th. And on the inbounds, Ramirez is called for the foul. He's frustrated that he wasn't the recipient of a foul call on that wraparound. And here comes the pass picked off and into the scoring table here, just down to the left of us, is Dion Oaks with great hustle. Almost ran into some of the broadcasters that lined up here at center court. 4:51 to go in the third. 12-point lead, Resurrection Christian. They have the basketball. Try to bounce it down low, and the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars. Boy, Wallman is 6'5", and behind him is Chet Corzine, and he's 6'1", and you can definitely see the 4-inch difference. If Wallman is 6'5", then I must be 6'2", and I checked out as 5'11", and a foul on a push underneath. I want to go dunk a basketball on that. Foul called at number 21. That'll be Chet Corzine. Corzine's second of the second half. Walsh and Stratton are tied 20-20 at the half. We got a triple screen here. This is awesome. You can't ask for anything better than this, like ESPN, picture within a picture. Here's the pass on the inbounds to Buxman. Back to Simon, top of the key, 3 from Mont. Spins in and out, no good, and two guys battle for the rebound themselves, and a foul is called. On the rebound, Mike Gage with the call. 1-5 for Sargent on the push, Dion Oaks. Two guys for Resurrection Christian had the ball, but the foul was called on Sargent. Oaks trying to push those two out of the way. So on the inbounds, on the third personal foul of the second half, it's picked up. Oaks gets the steal. He's ahead of everybody. He's getting chased. He lost control of it and out of bounds. Oh, what a tough break for the youngster. And he's a senior at 5'11". Tried to control it on the fast break, just had no control of his dribble, and two men chasing him. He could hear the footsteps, and he turned it over. 11th turnover of the game on Sargent. Likewise, Resurrection Christian with that bad pass. And Oaks bats it out of the hands of Jake Lohr, out of bounds deep in the far corner on the far side of the court. And here comes the substitution assembly line for Sargent. Corzine back in. Colton Cooley, a 5'10 junior, checks in with the multicolor hair. On the inbounds to Buxman. And he tried to flip it back, knocked out of bounds by the long stretched arms of Corzine, 6'1 senior. Little albatross there. 30-18, 4:13. The inbounds to a jumping Wallman in the middle of the paint. Missed it off the back iron, and a whistle. And a foul. Mont picks it up on an over the back, and that's his third. It's not been a pretty second or third quarter, that is, for Resurrection Christian, even though they lead 30-18. They had 26 points at halftime. They've only scored 4 here in the third, but have turned the ball over and have just not looked sharp as they were in the latter stages of the first quarter and second quarter. Here's the shot missed by Rogers. The rebound on the weak side pulled off by Dillon. His shot is short as well. And a rebound for the Cougars. Here's Josh Mont to the middle of the paint at the top of the key. Flips it over left side. Buxman penetrates down the baseline. He's double teamed and he throws it away. Another turnover, number 12 for Resurrection Christian. 4 here in the quarter. 3:30 to go, 30-18, but Sargent's not been able to peck away at the lead. Open for a 3, straight on, and nothing but the bottom of the net and out of bounds. Another depth perception missed three-pointer. Cooley looked like he was all set, had all the time in the world, and he hit nothing but the bottom of the net. And I don't mean the ball went through the net. Sargent 12 turnovers, Resurrection Christian with 12. 3:16 to go in the third. Here's Mont up at the high side left, penetrates, goes to the right side, knocked to the floor, no foul called, and the ball knocked out of bounds back to the Farmers. Cole Van Treese is in at the last break. 15 back in, Dion Oaks for Sargent, as Van Treese will take a seat. He played a couple of possessions, and down he goes. And Oaks, who got a breather, is back out there. Token pressure by Resurrection Christian as Wyatt Simon picks up the ball handler Ramirez. Ramirez down the paint, goes up, right side layup, left side no good, as it spun all over the iron and came off. Did not have the shooter's roll. little more butter on that roll, please. Down at the other end is a blocking foul called as trying to penetrate was Wyatt Simon. Simon banged it off the glass, missed the shot. Cooley picks up the foul. His first, third team foul. Actually, check that, fourth team foul of the second half for the Farmers. The score has kind of been stagnant here the last couple of minutes. Free throw is up and good. Finally, somebody touches the board. Simon, a 69% free throw shooter, averages 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals a game. He hasn't been, at least from what I've seen, as productive as those numbers have indicated. One at the free throw line, trying for a second point. He one-hands it up there, and it's good. He holds it to the side and then one-hands it with his right hand, and his left hand comes off the ball. I haven't seen that. 32-18, but whatever works. Ball knocked away, loose into the backcourt, and out of bounds it goes. It'll remain with Sargent. Ramirez tried to bounce the pass left side to Rogers out at the hash mark in front of his team bench, and quick hands there by 21, Jake Lohr. Sargent will have it in the backcourt and have to get it across the line as Ramirez against pressure from Simon. Now to Rogers. Rogers gets a back pick. He'll hit the man. Nope. Ball knocked away. Stolen away by Wallman. 13th turnover for the Farmers. Wallman double teamed out by his coach in front of the bench at the hash mark. Left side open was Buxman. Decided not to take the three. And he puts it on the floor. Kicks it into the corner to Simon. Simon up top. On the return pass, Simon deep left corner. No. Rebound on the inside is Jake Lohr's. He'll kick it out. 2:08 to go. 32-18. Resurrection Christian by 14. It's been their biggest lead. It was at halftime. Three-pointer short. Goes over the top and out of bounds. Last touch by Wallman. And Sargent will substitute again as Austin Dillon, who has a three-pointer, comes in. He had the only points for the Farmers in the second quarter. 24, DeWald also comes in, a 6'2 junior for Resurrection Christian. 37-20, it's Sierra pulling away from Broomfield, so those who wanted the Colorado future Buffalo players to match up in the championship might get their wish. Lewis Palmer already beat Valor Christian, and now Sierra with their stud going to Colorado, winning big against Broomfield up in Boulder as the shot is an air ball, but the ball goes out of bounds after a save attempt. Sargent's three was nothing but air, but they threw it off the leg of the Resurrection Christian player, and it remains Farmer ball. Oaks up top, right side. Now to Rogers. Rogers penetrates around two, throws it up in traffic, no good. DeWald gets a rebound, and he outlets it to the younger Mott. Mott, bounce pass right side, in transition, and a layup for Brock Buxman. Beautiful bounce pass left side, and Buxman cutting to the goal. Gets the bucket with 1:24 to go. 34-18, largest lead of the night for Resurrection Christian. Oaks throws it off the side of the backboard. No good, gets his own rebound, but then is fouled as he goes up a second time. 29-27, Stratton leads Walsh, just the start of things in the third quarter up at Loveland. So the first personal foul on Taylor DeWald. Second on the team here in the quarter. Oaks at the free throw line, and he puts it up there and in. Funky style. He dips down, do-si-do. Sounds like a country song, but when he's down on the free throw line, he puts his foot up there. Kind of does the frog. Down, out, up, in. It doesn't matter what it looks like as long as the basketball goes through the net, as I was told many years ago. On the inbound against the press. Long lead to Mont, the freshman. He has it. Bounce it right side. Buxman in trouble. Lost the ball underneath. Scramble for it. DeWald comes out of there. Uses an elbow. Banks it up and in the foul. Boy, DeWald almost got called for an elbow and might have, should have, depending on what official was looking at it. But he gets the bucket and the abuse. And the third foul on Corzine. Fifth on Sargent. And one coming at the free throw line for Taylor DeWald, who has 4 in the game. He's at his scoring average. He can break it right here. Holds it out in front of him. A lot of spin and rotation, and hits the bottom of the net. He's got 3 in the quarter, 5 in the game, along with 2 block shots. Here's Rogers using the left arm, trying to get across the line, and does on the dribble. Dillon has it. The give and go pass left side for Corzine. He'll fire a deep three. Yes! Chet Corzine. 6'1" senior drains it from the left side, and we got a 30-second timeout on the floor. 37-20 to 37-23 now. The 17-point lead a minute ago was the largest of the night for Resurrection Christian, which led by 14 at halftime. Working adults can earn that bachelor's degree without interrupting their home or work life. Study online with Adams State Distance Learning, one of the fine programs and convenient programs in more than 20 areas of study that Adams State College offers. For more, visit their website, www.adams.edu. www.adams.edu. Colorado Farm Bureau's insurance agency, coverage of the state tournament on CHSAA TV presented by them. They can handle your auto, home, life insurance needs locally with qualified and knowledgeable agents throughout the state. Real service, real people. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. 49 seconds to go, third quarter. I'm Corey Ellen Ford, courtside at the 2A State Basketball Championships. Quarterfinal number 3 for the boys, and right now it is Resurrection Christian in control by 14. 37-23. They break the press and in transition down, trying to go to the left side for a layup attempt was Wyatt Simon, and he's fouled hard by the Sargent Farmer. 15, Deon Oakes, who is in disbelief for the call by Craig Coatley. They said the ball was on the floor, and now we have DeWald with an offensive foul. Boy, he really pushed Chet Corzine, trying to get open on the inbounds pass, and DeWald picks up the offensive foul. 37-23. Chance to slice into this lead right here before we go into the fourth quarter. Ramirez up top, double teamed, now gets away from the double team in the dribble, now double teamed again. Right side, Corzine fires a three, air ball, rebound, picked it out of the air. Oakes, he missed everything as it hit the glass and went to the opposite side. DeWald gets the rebound for the Cougars. Wyatt Simon, the point guard, will run the show as he brings it across the line, working on Dillon. Left side to Luke Mont, the freshman, the younger of the two Monts. Up top, Oakes almost bumped into Lohr. Lohr takes it to the goal, but ball stripped away. 13th turnover on Resurrection Christian as they come back the other way to the Farmers. And the shot at the buzzer is short just before the end of the third quarter. Rogers got a good look. He was shooting 23 and it went 22. 2 quarters or 3 quarters in the book. 14-point lead for Resurrection Christian as we head to the final 8 minutes in their first ever state tournament trip. Trying to get to the semifinals tomorrow night against Lyman. It's the Cougars 37 and the Farmers 23. CHSAA.tv is back in a moment.
He wasn't looking for a roommate, not even a 4-legged one. But good things have a way of turning up. Wasn't long till they realized how much they relied on each other. There's power in a great relationship. That's why we take time to get to know each of our customers personally. Like Henry and Chance. Those relationships are the strength of our community bank. And that's the way banking should be.
An egg today as the Southeast Colorado teams. Oh, I
Sorry
meant to
about
say
that.
Well,
Yeah,
you know, oh, that's true. I'm just being honest. I mean, they're really having a struggle at the Southeast Colorado teams. They have lost the first 4 times they've matched up today. Kit Carson and Walsh really struggling right now. Actually has the lead at 35-30. It's in the third quarter. But not blowing away a Stratton team. As we said, they're a scrappy team. Springfield had a tough go at it against High Plains. Kim lost. Kit Carson lost. The Wiley girls will play Pawnee up in the 1A tournament later. Here we start the fourth quarter. Sargent gets it on the board with Deon Oakes getting a layup. He's got 10 now. They were outscored. Actually, they scored 11 points each in the quarter, did the two teams. And 37-25 is the 12-point lead. They led by 14 at the half, led by 14 at the end of 3, and Resurrection Christian now trying to keep it up as the ball out of bounds. Oakes is trying for the ball. He was hip-checked. Looked like a hockey game. Hip-checked by Jake Lohr. No call, and he wanted the call. But the ball remains in the hands of Resurrection Christian. Let's see if Sargent has a spark in him right now. Resurrection has kind of seemed to put the game away, say, hey, you know, we're up 14 and we're just kind of going through the motions. They need to start playing some basketball here, and I think their coach would agree with that. Buxman up top, swinging around left side. Deep into the corner is Josh Mott. He looks for Wallman underneath. Wallman trying to get open. Now he gets us the pass on the baseline, turns with 2 men on him, puts it up and in. you go to your bread and butter. And he will take you to dinner. Wallman gets the bucket to go and the foul. 39-25, back to a 14-point lead at the 7:04 mark of the fourth. Corzine picks up his fourth. Not good news for Sargent. And their seventh foul as well, so the rest of the night, Resurrection Christian will be at the free throw line, and the free-point play is completed by Brian Wallman. He's now got 13, one away from his average. 13 and 6 on the game for Wallman. Fourth quarter, Walsh 35, Stratton 31. Up in Loveland at the event center there. Here, 40-25. Penetrating with the basketball is Oaks. Ball loose on the floor. Oaks with it, throws it into traffic, and it's picked up. 14th turnover for Sargent. Back the other way comes Josh Mont. Stops at the right elbow. Kicks it right side. That's Lohr. Back to Mont. Mont penetrates. Gets around Ramirez. Throws it up off the glass. No. Wallman gets it inside rebound, but taken away there by little Scott Dillon. All 5'8" of them. And the ball is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Sargent here just on the other side of midcourt. Brandon Rogers comes back in. 22 Cooley also back in for Sargent. 30 also is Cole Van Treese. Boy, you better be on top of your names in this game because they come in fast and furious. Ramirez right down the lane. He stops, brings it back with the dribble. Now left side Rogers. Stop, pop, shoots 18. It went 17. Ball loose on the floor. Rogers tried to save it. He stepped on the end line, and it'll be Resurrection Christian basketball. And on the inbound for the Cougars, they will get it to Wyatt Simon. Simon will work it to Buxman. Buxman middle of the court, right side. Mott fakes the 18-footer, but he travels. Looked like he had both feet set. Bruce Dick doesn't agree with the call on the far side. 14th turnover on Resurrection Christian, which started the game off with 4 straight turnovers. If you weren't here earlier. ECA, Evangelical Christian Academy, and Rye coming up next, the final girls quarterfinal. The winner gets Akron tomorrow night. Akron a winner earlier along with Paonia, the number 1 seed, and Denver Lutheran. Or Lutheran is what they call it now. It's a combination of Denver Lutheran and Lutheran of Parker. Ball knocked out of bounds. Sargent will maintain possession. Down 15 with 6:03 to go, and the Farmers need to do something in a hurry. Rogers up top with it. He's guarded there by Wyatt Simon in a man-to-man player defense. Right side pass for Oaks. Now to Mullins. Mullins to Dillon. Back to Rogers on the left side. They're working, trying to work the left side and get somebody free. Ball knocked out of bounds by the quick hands of Wyatt Simon. The Sanford boys have walked into the Colorado State Fairgrounds Event Center in their green and white. Sargent on the inbounds. Bounce it deep left corner. Austin Dillon flips it out to Ramirez. Ramirez, the quarterback of this offense, will run the show. Oaks free throw line extended right. Covered there by Buxman. Ramirez fakes the 3. Now puts it up. Another air ball. Ball tried to be saved underneath. No go. 16th turnover on Sargent. Tough to shoot a 3. It's one thing when you come to these new arenas, you got to practice the 3. If you're a 3-point shooter, you just got to go out there and shoot because you got to get used to that depth perception. It is tough. On the inbounds, Buxman gets the underhand scoop from Mott. Josh Mott gets it back. He breaks the defense, breaks right through 3 players. Down the middle of the lane, bounces it right side and right through the wickets of Jake Lohr. Good thing he's not a hockey avalanche goalie. He would be on the bench. As the ball right through the wickets of Lohr. 5:24 to go in the fourth. (40-25). Resurrection has turned it over 15 times, 16 for Sargent. It's not been a pretty game, to say the least. If you're looking for a thing of beauty, unfortunately, this has not been it. But right now, it is for Resurrection Christian in their first state appearance. Missed shot by Oaks, rebound on the baseline, put up in traffic. Scott Dillon with 2 men in front of him, and he gets it to go down. His second field goal of the game. He's got 4 off the bench. And Mott deep down court, cutting baseline. Great pass across the defense from Simon to Woolman, cutting down the left side. He bangs it home. He's got 5 in the quarter, 15 in the game. 42-27. 15-point lead. Long lead left side. That's Jake Lohr. Lohr, pull up, pop, free throw line jumper, no good. Went off softly to the right side and pulled out of there on the rebound, and Ramirez will bring it up. 4.5 to go, 42-27, Resurrection Christian. That far away from playing in the state semifinals in 2A in their first ever appearance. Three-point shot, no good, way over the top of the rim by Dion Oaks, and back the other way in transition. Layup, good, and the foul. Mullins racing down there, but not able to catch up with Brock Buxman. Buxman lays it up with a scoop shot and the one. Clay Mullins picks up his third personal. 8th team foul. Mullins taken out. Cooley comes in. Buxman goes to the free throw line. Brock averaging 10 on the season. He's at 8, 2 of 2 from the charity stripe tonight. 4:10 to go, fourth quarter. Glad you're with us on CHSAA TV. Free throws up and down for Mr. Buxman. 3 in the quarter, 9 in the game. And a perfect 3 of 3 at the line. 45-27, 4:02 to go. Backdoor cut. Caught between two men. Tried to backdoor or no-look pass in the middle. Ball loose in the middle. And now another no-look pass by Rogers. Comes off a defender right into the hands of Mix. Mix back to Rogers. 3 left wing. Swish. Brandon Rogers from the left wing. Second three-pointer of the game. His first game of 5-0 lead early in the game. And that seemed like years ago for Sargent. Right now, though, down by 15. 3:40 to go, and Resurrection Christian unable to get the ball inbounds. So they call a timeout. So we have a 30-second break. 42-39. Walsh with the lead. 4 minutes, 4.5 to go in the third quarter up at Loveland, if you're not watching that. Fourth quarter. And right here, it's 45-30. 3:40 to go. I seem to have lost my notes. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Giving you the quiz on Colorado potatoes. They contribute about 8% of your daily fiber intake. Did you know that Colorado potatoes are 100% fat and gluten-free? And did you know that Colorado is the #2 fresh potato shipper in the United States? Did not know that. Find out more about Colorado potatoes and register for a $100 Visa gift card at coloradopotato.org. Idaho, I'm guessing, is #1, but Colorado I did not know was #2. Agriculture, a huge economic influence, of course, in the San Luis Valley. Potatoes and melons, definitely right up there. And onions. Timeout, out of the timeout, Resurrection Christian leading by 15 with 3:40 to go. They'll have the ball length of the floor to go underneath the Sargent basket. And Sargent now will press full court. Winner gets Lyman tomorrow night at 5:30. Loser plays Wiggins tomorrow morning at 10:15. Here's the inbounds. Mott gets it off to Wyatt Simon. Left-handed speed dribble up the court. Down on the baseline. That's Magnuson way out top back to Simon, and they'll slow it down. Mott, they'll run some clock. 3:30 to go. Already in the bonus is Resurrection Christian, so any foul will put him at the line. They're at 8. Is Sargent. Bad pass knocked away. Rogers got a hand in a deflection. It's a 2-on-1. Pulls up, hits the jumper right side from 8 feet away. Brandon Rogers with 5 in a row. And it's 45-32 with 3:11 to go. In the backcourt is Simon trying to work his way free. Ramirez gets the steal, takes it away. Pump fake goes up, bangs it off the glass and in. Rogers has 7 in a row and a timeout on the floor. 3 minutes exactly to go. 45-34. And the beat goes on as Brandon Rogers, averaging 10 in the season, has stepped up. He's got the last 7. He's got 10 in the ball game. Trying to carry his team back into this one. It's only down 11 with 3 minutes to go. As we said earlier today, Lyman beat Wiggins 57-48. Lutheran boys were a 62-49 winner over Custer County. Later on, 8:30 game, Denver Christian at 23-0, the #1 seed for Dick Cotty, who's in his 48th year of coaching, and he's in his final go-around, trying to win an 8th state title for Denver Christian. They will take on a Sanford team that has made it 7 of the last 8 years, but did not come last year, but a very, very experienced team at state under Coach Rhett Larson. They will match up in the 8:30 final game of the agenda here today at the Pueblo Event Center. Other games on the girls' side, Akron beat Sargent the game before this, 50-31. Lutheran girls also a winner, so the boys and girls from Lutheran winners today. They beat Vanguard 55-45 in what everybody thought would be a closer game. Paonia was able to get by Del Norte with a strong fourth quarter, 49-39. That game was only a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter. And Paonia, the number 1 seed at 22-1, now 23-1, pulled away. They'll play Lutheran tomorrow at 4 in the girls' semifinal. Akron will play the winner of our next game, ECA and Rye, in the other semifinal tomorrow night. Okay, after the timeout, 45-34, Resurrection Christian will have it. Length of the floor to go. On the inbounds to Buxman. Buxman is caught, double team, bounces it to the middle of the court for Simon. Simon, middle of the court, across the midcourt for Mont. Down low, great bounce pass down low, and banging it off the glass and in is Jake Lohr. That's how you break the press. With a couple of passes and a long pass down the length of the floor, and we've got a foul and a blocking foul called underneath. John Magsman calls the foul from up top left in front of the Sargent bench, to the chagrin of the Resurrection Christian folks. The foul is on 23, Brian Wallman, his second, fourth team foul here in the second half. And at the line shooting, Brandon Rogers. It stops the clock. And at 47-34, chance to cut it back to 11. Free throw is up and in. His first free throw for Rogers on the night. Here comes Ryan Mix, a 6'2 senior who started the contest in that starting lineup. Walsh 47, Stratton 45 with 46, that is, with 2:08 to go in the fourth up in Loveland. Free throw on the way is good. Rogers has hit 9 in a row. He is on fire, singeing the nets right now. He's carrying Sargent, trying to get him right back in it. It's an 11-point lead. He's trying to get it to single digits if they can get a steal. Here's Mott in the backcourt. Ball loose. It's loose on the floor. Picked up. Rogers has it. Tries to cross-court pass it. Picked off by Simon. Down court. Reverse layup is no good. Wallman gets the rebound and the ball knocked away off of Wallman, out of bounds, back to Sargent. Oh, Sargent had a golden opportunity there to make it a single-point game. Single-digit game, that is. 2:29 to go, and they have another chance right here, length of the floor to go. Ramirez against Mont. Ramirez gets the pass. Mont is all over him up the court. Back to Dillon. Fires a three. No, short rebound tipped off of Oakes. Head first dive on the far side. Give him the hustle points. And the owie on the elbow as he comes off for Scott Dillon. Quickly into the game is Mix. He'll replace Corzine, who has 4 fouls. And it's 11-point lead for Resurrection Christian with 2:20 to go. Here's Mott with the inbounds. The catch is made by Jake Lohr. Lohr gets it back to Simon. Simon weaving and snaking his way out of trouble. Back to Mott. Finally across midcourt to Simon, right side between the circles. Pass into the corner and back out to Buxman. He's out top between the circles. Reach-in foul as wrapping around was Brandon Rogers. Rogers gets the foul call, and I got him with only 1 in the game. His second, actually. 9th team foul. He almost got him a little too lippy. Did not like the foul at all as Corzine comes back into the game.
Number 1 seed in danger with less than a minute to go.
49-46, Walsh with the lead. Here at the free throw line is Brock Buxman. Free throw is no good. Missed it. First miss of the night for him. He had been 3 for 3. Sargent the rebound and back the other way. A chance to get it to a single-digit deficit. 47-36, a minute 53 to go. Here's Rogers. Shake it and bacon. Pulls up. Free throw line jumper short. Rebound in the paint. Pulled off by Josh Mont. Ball stripped away. Knocked away loose on the floor. Diving for it is Wallman, and he'll come up with it. He'll get it over to Jake Lohr. Lohr up top, and he is fouled by Oakes. Dion will pick up his 4th. 10th team foul on Sargent. Double bonus for Resurrection Christian, who's 2 of 3 here in the fourth quarter. Trying to salt this one away with a minute 37 and their first ever win at the state tournament. Free throw up and good. Lohr has 7 in the game. 48-36. One more for Jake. Spins it up there and down. 4 in the quarter for him, 8 in the game. 49-36 with a minute 36 to go. Racing it across is Ramirez. Ramirez trying to get out of trouble. Ball poked out away from behind by Mont. Then it's poked away from him. Then Mont all the way down court. Wide open is Lohr. Left-handed or right-handed scoop layup is good. 51-36. Corzine back the other way. Off to Rogers. Throws it up in traffic. And it'll be 2 shots coming, I believe. Rogers thinks it's a shooting foul. The foul is called on Wyatt Simon, his second. It's the 15 foul on Resurrection Christian, but I believe he was not shooting, and Rogers is in disbelief. He will do the inbounding as Mix comes into the game. Corzine will come out. Sargent basketball underneath their hoop. Right side. The inbounds up top. Mix has it. Left corner, Dillon loads up, fires a 3, and he hits. And a timeout immediately by Sargent. Scott Dillon hits his first 3 of the night. 5 in the quarter for him, 7 off the bench for the 5'8 junior. And it's 51-39, 107 to go. The other games, 49-48. Walsh with the lead with 47.5 seconds to go. Up at the 1A state tournament in Loveland. Here it's 51-39. Walsh, the number 2 seed on the boys' side. Sierra Grande, the number 1 seed, advanced earlier today. And 5 seed High Plains upset 4 seed Springfield. Stratton will bring it across the line in their ball game as they try to take the lead on Walsh. And that would be a shocker. For most it would be, but I'm telling you right now, I told somebody today and yesterday and the day before that Stratton is going to scrap and claw at you the whole game. They do in every sport every year. And they got the bucket, and they have the lead now. Back here, it's Resurrection Christian 51-39, a minute 7 to go, and with the basketball linked to the floor to go against a full court press. Mont on the inbounds, has it, middle of the court, bad pass, picked up by Ramirez. Ramirez stops his dribble, fires a 3, no, short, rebound, loose underneath. Josh Mont has it. Mont, down court, Wallman all by himself. Wallman lays it up and in. Wallman's got 17. 53-39, Resurrection Christian is going to win their first ever state game and their first ever appearance. As a 3 taken by Rogers, deep corner is good. He's having a humongous fourth quarter. The ball thrown out of bounds by Resurrection Christian with 36.4 to go. It's an 11-point lead. That's their 16th turnover. Each team now with 16 of those in the contest. 13 seconds to go up in Loveland, and Stratton leads Walsh 50-49. On the throw-in, the ball was tipped and deflected, and it will go to Sargent underneath their own basket. Okay. Timeout. The officials want to converge and have a chat. Megsman, Gage, and Cotley, that is, are having a conversation. 15 points, 12 in the quarter for Brandon Rogers. That's how hot he is for Sargent. The ball will be at the other end, which is the proper call. So Sargent will have the ball.
Fouled him on the inbounds. He's going to go to the line. 1-1.
That's Mearden, one of the Mearden twins. If you can tell which one it is, you're good luck. On the inbounds, Ramirez. 32 seconds to go here. 53-42. Ramirez trying to get rid of it, does right side. Here's Rogers. Rogers, pull up, pop from college 3. No, it's off the iron. Rebound, Dillon underneath. Bangs it off the glass. Good! And the foul. Clock stops. Wallman the foul, and we're under double digits with 21.2 to go here. 53-44. Scott Dillon having a quarter. Him and Rogers having huge quarters. Dillon will go to the free throw line. Up in Loveland, Walsh has made both free throws after a foul on their inbounds, and they lead it by 1 over Stratton. Here, Dillon missed the shot. Rebound tapped way out front to Josh Mont. Mont getting chased in the backcourt with 17, and finally a reach-in foul called on Dillon. Scott Dillon will pick it up. And it'll be 2 shots at the other end for Josh Mont, who tries to salt it away here. 53-44. Dillon with 7 in the quarter, 9 in the game after he missed that free throw. Dewald and Corzine, along with Magnuson, all want to come in here if Mott can make the free throw. He's got 2, so they will be into the game no matter what in the double bonus. Josh puts up the first one and good. Rattles around and down. He's got 9. He averages 13. His first free throw of the night is successful, and he'll have one more. Coach Bruce Dick on the far side, slapping 5 with Wallman. And Buxman gets him out of the game here in the final seconds. 14.6 to go. And the next one is up and good by Mott. And a timeout called by Resurrection Christian, and Coach Dick wants to use the full timeout. He'll use the full timeout. And Walsh wins it as Stratton misses a three-point shot. Hits nothing but air. And Walsh wins 51-50 over Stratton. So that's a big win for the Eagles, Walsh Eagles that is, as they move on with a 1-point win over a very scrappy Stratton club. Nothing to be surprised about in that game. Here it's 55-44 with 14.6 to go. It was a 5-0 Sargent lead to start the game. And then Resurrection Christian led 26-12 at halftime and hasn't looked back since. Their biggest lead has been 17 on a couple of occasions. But Sargent has had a very strong fourth quarter from a couple of players. Brandon Rogers and Scott Dillon. And it's got them within striking distance here. And Ramirez will bring it across the line for Sargent. He's being harassed by Mott. Mott reaches in, gets the pick. Mott will take it one-on-one and then decide not to go. He'll reverse it back out. He's running around, snaking around, and Resurrection Christian, first ever state tournament win. Final score, the Cougars 55 and the Farmers 44. First ever win for Resurrection Christian at the state tournament in their first appearance. They're now 22-2. And the number 2 seed will move on to take on Lyman tomorrow afternoon at 5:30. Sargent ends the game at 15-8 with the loss. They've now lost 9 straight games at the state tournament, and their 2-game winning streak is snapped as they lose 55-44. Let's run through the scoring here, and for both teams as we go through it, and I go through it with you. 10 points in the game for Josh Mont for Resurrection Christian. He was 2 of 2 at the free throw line. His other points were 4 field goals. Brian Wallman had a nice ball game. He's a 6'5 senior averaging 14 and 9. He ended up the ball game with 17 points and 8 boards. Wyatt Simon, 2 points, both from the free throw line. Brock Buxman, who averages 10, he gets 9 in the contest. 3 of 4 at the free throw line for him. Colin Magnuson, the final from the 5A tournament, or 4A tournament that is, Sierra Broomfield 66-43. So Sierra will play Lewis Palmer in the matchup of soon-to-be Buffs for next year. That'll be tomorrow night in the championship of Class 4A. Magnuson back here had 2 points. Colin, that is. Luke Mont did not score. Jake Lohr ended up with 4, 6, 8, 10 points, including 2 of 2 at the free throw line and 3 of 4 at the free throw line, and a total of 5 points for Taylor DeWald and a couple of block shots. Good free throw shooting on the game for Resurrection Christian. They hit 2, 4, 7, 9, 12 of their free throw attempts. 12 of 14 at the free throw line, and the leading scorer in the ball game for the Cougars is Brian Wallman with 17. Sargent on the other side, Brandon Rogers got off to a great start. 3-pointer game, a 5-0 lead, but they could never really stay in it after that. Rogers and company were down 12-9 after 1, 26-12 after 2, and 37-23 after 3. Rogers, though, with a huge fourth quarter, hit 2 3-pointers, 2 field goals, and 2 free throws. So you throw in 12 points. He has 15 in the game, but unfortunately it was a little too late to make any noise for the Sargent Farmers, who fall in the contest by a score of 55-44. Deion Oakes has 10 points. He hits his scoring average, 2 of 2 at the free throw line for him. Chet Corzine has 3 points, 2 points for Ryan Mix, 3 for Austin Dillon, 2 for Nate Ramirez, and Scott Dillon, who had 2 in the first half, has a nice fourth quarter as well. He has 7 in the quarter and ends up with 9 and 0 of 1 at the free throw line. In the game, they hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-pointers, but it wasn't enough as Resurrection Christian, the number 2 seed, gets the win 55-44. Up next, the girls' final quarterfinal of day 1 of the 2A state basketball championships in Pueblo. It'll be Evangelical Christian Academy, the number 2 seed, against the number 7 seed, Rye Lady Thunderbolts. We take time out. We come back to Pueblo in the Colorado State Fair Event Center with more of our coverage in just a moment.